Hi everybody, it's your buddy Brad here, and today we are going to take a look at this, I don't know if it's really all that new, but this process that I've done using Glynntersection 3, which I already went through a little bit already. It's basically Glynntersection 2 with some added variables. But I'm going to show you how to make this flame, but then we're going to make it into a script. So instead of me releasing a script, I'm going to tell you and show you how you can make your own script. This is just a new idea that I'm trying. If you like this idea, if you want to learn how to make your own scripts, let me know. So let's go ahead and get started. I have some other examples of the idea here. It's really very easy to set up. But I think I'm going to actually show how to do this setup here, which I think is going to be a lot more fun and a lot more stable. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit New from Scratch. And we're going to hit Add Linear. Now, we're going to click on the linear, but we're going to change it to Glynntersection 3. And you may notice I'm actually using a test version by Jesus Sosa that has some extra variations in it, but you can use this with the current version of the program. So Glynntersection 3. And then I'm going to add go to post mirror. This is going to disable the x-axis and enable the y-axis. This is kind of the same setup as last time. Let's get a different gradient. Then we are going to click Add. Intersection. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to set this width to 10 and this height to 10, just to spread it out a little bit more. But then we're going to reduce these. Let's see, going back to this here. I'm going to set it to 0.25, I believe. The x heights, yes. So I'm going to set this to 0.25. I'm going to string it down some. So that's the height. And the width. And we're going to come back to this first variation. First transform. And then we're going to select splits. I set both of these to 0.4 right now, but I'm going to change that. Need to make sure that we have this post. Then we'll just shrink these to get them to line up with the edges of the intersection here. And the good thing about this is once you get one set to where you like it, since it's the same width, all you have to do is change it to the same number down here, 0.084. And actually, I'm going to bring this down to 0.74. Actually, I'm using this magnifier to try to see if that's close enough, and I think so. Another little tip. So then we're going to go to intersection. And we're just going to bring this down, reducing the triangle quite a bit here, so you can kind of get an idea of how small it is. Then we are going to add a link transform. We're just going to keep that as linear right now. We're going to take a look at the chaos, and we see it's 0, 0, 1. But we want to do the same thing on the intersection. And I think it's gotten kind of a little darker in here. I'm going to step away for just a moment to turn on a light. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So now we want the same chaos setup here. 0, 0, 1. And then we want it going 1, 1, and we also want to make sure this intersection is hidden. Even though we can still see it, now that's chaos, and that's a different tutorial. Then we are going to change this linear to spherical. Then we're going to use the pre-post Mobius. Scroll down to pre-post Mobius. And now is when we can start changing up our gradient sum. First, I'm just going to move this around. Just adjusting the colors and speed some to get something to my liking. Then I'm also, let's see, I'm going to reset this spherical transform, the third one. And I'm going to set the oh, I'm sorry, you need to set this pre-push Mobius to 1. I didn't do that before. Then you can either have it set to 1 or -1. Give you an idea. And this is basically our, I'm going to call this our base image. I'm going to do a screenshot of this because probably be coming back to it. And actually, I'm going to change this spherical to inversion, which is basically the same like spherical, but it has more options that you can tweak later on. So now I'm just testing it out. Just playing with some of the variables. So I'm going to set this back. Now that looks like it's going to be right. And then I'm going to reset this. So now we're going to make this into a script. So we click on the script and custom brushes. And then under your scripts. And then I have a folder that I use for testing. Basically, it's a folder in my scripts folder. I have a 1 with it, and then I just have it testing. That way it's at the very top of my script list, as you can see here. So I'm going to double click on that. I'm going to keep this folder highlighted though. Then I'm going to click from Flame. It's going to ask you to name it. And kind of a funky name, but I'm going to call it Glynntersection Glynntersection. And you want to make sure that you have the first letter capitalized. The reason for that is, if you don't have it capitalized, it'll show lower in your list of the list of scripts. So, oh yeah, and you always want to put your initials next to it. And of course, mine is BS. Let that sink in for a moment. Have you finished laughing yet? Okay. Then you hit OK. And it will actually show up here at the very bottom of your script list until you do a rescan of it. So I'm going to hit New from Scratch and click Run. Now, because we did some chaos changes and that, you will see that it's not quite the same image that we had before. It's almost kind of mirrored here, but not in the cool, fun way that we really don't want. So what we need to do is, if we look here, these two transforms, we want them to be hidden. But when you do a script, it doesn't pick that up. So you have to do it manually. But if you see here, the chaos is right, but not the drawer mode. So we're going to go to the official JWildfire forum. And we are going to type in DRAWMODE. So I just clicked on search for drawer mode. And here I found one, a link by Missy Gaynor, where she asked about how to change it. And Mick Hogan, who is one of the original scripting masters, he taught me so much about scripts, and I am so thankful for everything that he taught me. He's had a real impact on my my art in probably more ways than you would know. So there's a couple ways, as you it says here, there's a couple ways, but this is the quickest, and he has it listed here, and he also has a link. So if we follow that link, Don basically asks the same thing. Here's Andreas telling him it's basically the same thing that's over here. But we're going to come back here. We are going to select this whole line here. And you really don't have to know a lot of coding to make a simple script. Although it helps, but it's not, you know, don't be scared. So we're going to hit the edit button here. And so now we're going to have them on, here's all the code that's part of the script. And again, don't let it get you, overwhelm you. because basically everything here refers to the whole flame itself as a whole. Everything that starts with transform is at the transform level. And then we have the variations that we used. So now, since we're just changing the drawer mode on that transform, that's why we're setting it here. Let's see here. Here, since it has to do with relative weights, which is a chaos, I'm going to put it here. So that's for the first transform. Now we're on the second transform, relative weights. Hitting enter, Control V to paste. And I'm not going to save yet. I'm just going to hit new from scratch. Click this run script button. And so basically it's the same script, same image here. It's the only thing that's changing in it is the gradient, which if you want to just save this and then tweak it manually, that is fine. But if you want to add some randomness to it, there's actually some preset things you can do. If you see here, like this is on the third transform. It says uncomment to play around. So this is the pre-transform. So this is the scale, the rotate, and the translate, or this changes the size, this one rotates it, and this one moves it around. So I'm just going to uncomment by removing these two slashes. So now I'm going to hit run script. That's very cool. But I don't like how dull it is. I like to have my brightness up. So I'm actually going to copy for the flame. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to set brightness. Make sure the B is capitalized. I don't want to set that high. I want to set it about 50. So now, if you watch the brightness here, down here, I'm going to hit run script. And now you see the brightness, every time we hit run script, it'll be set to 50. Which I think is a little bit more optimal. Then if you want to randomize some variables, we can do that too, and very easily. So basically what this does is, for like the scale, it changes the size of it by 1.25 plus or minus 5 by 5. I'm not going to get into that because that's something that I don't have a total understanding of, and that can be another tutorial. But what's important is we're just going to copy this and we're going to change this -1 here to this -1.25 minus math random. Wait a minute. Oh, do we want it? Wait a minute. I think we want it times math random. Yes, that was the effect I wanted. Plus, now there's something else I wanted to check. Did it set our splits as post? And it did. It did set our splits as post. I was actually afraid of that, but it did set it as post. And actually, I think I want the PPUs set higher. Let's set it. That might be good. 170. So since that is part of the full flame, that would be up here. Set pixels per inch. Let's just keep it there. Okay. And so then you could actually go through and adjust add this amount to these other areas here, which would give it more randomization. You can also you could also uncomment these. That will also adjust the first transform. You don't want to mess with the splits too much unless you want to change that up. You just need to make sure to also change the amount of the intersection. And I would say, for having a basic script set up, that you should be able to have a lot of fun with this. If you have any questions, please let me know. And until next time, bye.